rest, and boost. So I made this up just to see if I could find some way to help us to remember what we need to do. You think of four things: water, food, rest, boost. Water refers to hydrotherapy, using water inside and outside. We're going to talk about that. Food talks about what kind of foods you need to eat when you come down with COVID-19 or any other virus. Rest is vital. Rest was one of the first things that patients who came down with the Spanish flu in 1918, the ones who did well, one of the first things they did was to rest. They had to slow down, get into bed, shut down, and allow their body to heal. And then boost. We're going to talk about the things that you can use to boost your immunity so you can fight. So, like the vitamins, the antioxidants, and the right concoctions, which we all love to have and know so we can do better. Okay. I won't get to all of them today, I'm sure. And so I'll cover what I can today. And then next week, we'll talk about the others. All right. So let's talk about water. Water inside and out. So you can do hydrotherapy inside, right? That's by taking adequate water the minute you start to feel sick. Now you want to have warm water. Take 2 glasses right away of warm water, and that does a lot of things. When you start to take water internally, it loosens up your lymphatic system. So your lymph can flow better throughout your body. And your lymphatic system is what really helps you with the white cells and the fighting and the clearing of toxin throughout your body. That's where you clear your various infections and garbage. It flows through that area. And so you want it to flow well. So you also help to thin out phlegm that's trying to form in the back of your throat, and you have to wash it down and clear out your throat area and down through your respiratory region. So you want to be sure to drink warm water as soon as you start to feel sick. It also kind of increases your body temperature inside when you drink warm water, like almost like tea, just warm, hot water, warm water. And the warmth inside starts to boost the white cells to activity, almost like you're trying to create a fever inside, a mild one, obviously, but it boosts the white cells and gets them to start working. And it also helps to break down fat deposits in your blood so your blood can move easily and get to where it needs to be to fight the bugs. So simple. You can do it. We can all do it. Start with some hot water, at least 2 or 3 glasses when you start to feel sick, right? So that's water inside. Keep drinking water while you're feeling sick. What about water outside? All right, so hydrotherapy on the outside can seem a little bit overwhelming. You may say, well, I don't know what to do because we haven't been taught it. We don't really know what to do, but it's simple. It's easy. You can do it. Now, during the 1918 Spanish flu, that was a major treatment in sanitariums and facilities where individuals actually survived. Remember, the Spanish flu was horrible, really, really horrible pandemic that took out, I read, 1/3 of the population, especially young people in their 20s to 30s. The working force just boom, sick and out. Many of them died, millions. But there were areas of sanitariums where individuals were treated differently than they were in the hospitals. The hospital had a high death rate. Sanitariums did much better, where they treated individuals more naturally using simple natural interventions. One of them, hydrotherapy. They drank lots of water and they did hydrotherapy on the outside. So what are 4 hydrotherapy things you can do at your own home? Well, you can do something as simple as a contrast shower. I took one this morning because when I got up, honestly, I felt a little something and I said, it's time. So I got my hot water. I went in the shower and I put it on hot for 3 minutes, got my body nice and hot and warm, almost like inducing a fever. Then I put it on cold for 30 seconds. Then I turn it back to hot for 3 minutes. then back to cold for 30 seconds. And I did this for about 3 cycles. And what that does in our body is it boosts white cell activity and mobilization. Your white cells kind of get the message. Okay, thinks you're having a fever, it's starting to prime, and it's getting ready to attack. It's looking for the culprit. Where is the trouble? That triggers your immune system to go into high gear and start to work better. Okay, so a contrast shower, you can do it. When you think about when you get sick, one of the first things is sometimes you get a fever. That's your body's natural mechanism to prime the immune system. It's telling your white cells it's time to get busy. Something is happening. When you have a fever, your interferon levels, that's just a natural product in your blood that helps to fight bugs, fight infections, fight foreign things. It's part of the immune system. And are you hearing me? It looks like I froze. Pastor, can you hear me?
I hear you fine. Yeah, you're fine.
Okay, so I didn't freeze on your end. I just froze on my end.
No, no, you only froze when you
My
said I was
screen
froze.
froze.
Yeah.
All right. All right then. All right. Thank you. I thought all right. So sorry about that. Want to make sure I didn't lose everybody. So yeah. So when you get a fever, that's a natural mechanism of your body to fight. So that's why it's not a good idea to suppress a fever once it starts. You want to let the fever just take its course, and that's a way to decrease the length of infection that you have. Of course, if the fever is too high, like you're going up to 103, 104, you're having a problem. You can get damage to organs, you can get delirious, then you want to bring it down faster. But a fever of 100, 101, 102, it's a great way for your body to fight.
Yeah, I was curious. When you say you shouldn't suppress a fever, exactly what does that mean? I don't understand that
Oh,
terminology.
thank you. Thank you. Sometimes we speak in jargon and we forget that we need to break it down. Suppress is to squash or to bring down or to try to get rid of the fever. Some folks think a fever is bad news, so they run for the Tylenol and they just want to bring it down to normal. But
Hmm.
that's not the best idea because a fever is your body's natural defense in fighting infections. So unless the fever is too high, so you have a thermometer at home, right? It should be a part of every home's medical kit. Every home, everybody needs their own medical kit in the house. If you don't have one, start to put it together. So in your home medical kit, in your home health kit, you have a thermometer. And if you check the fever and the temperature and it is above, if it's just 101, it's fine. But if it's going too high, 103, 104, that's when I personally would start taking some Tylenol. But before that, no. I want the fever to just run its course and help my body to fight. That's what the fever does. And that's the whole premise of hydrotherapy or hyperthermal hydrotherapy, meaning high temperature hydrotherapy or hot water hydrotherapy. You are inducing a fever in your body. You're trying to bring your body temperature up so you can stimulate the white cells, increase interferon production, increase certain good cytokines, and fight the bugs, fight the diseases, and even fight cancer. That's a whole different talk. But hypothermic hydrotherapy fights lots of cancers. Anyway, so we're talking about getting the body temperature up, priming our body with water to fight disease. Contrast shower is one that you can do in your house to help to stimulate your immune system and fight the bug. All right. Another hydrotherapy technique you can use is chest fomentation. Okay, what does that mean? It just means applying a hot towels to your chest. Because let's say your infection is centered here. You're coughing, your lungs are congested. You want to put something really warm here. So you would put, you get a nice towel, a nice big towel, and you can put it in boiling hot water, wring it out. Of course, you need to wear some gloves to protect your hands, or not get your hands on the wet part because the water is really hot. You put the towel in hot water, maybe holding both ends up without getting your hands hot, and then take it out and wring out the water, and then put the warm or the hot towel by now on the person's chest, but put a barrier on the chest first because the towel is going to burn them. So you put a dry towel on the chest, then you put the hot towel here and let them lie down in bed, cover them up, and that area is going to get nice and hot. And guess what? Increased blood flow, vasodilation, more white cells come in, gobbling up those bugs, gobbling up the damage, clearing the area. All right. So you can do chest fomentations in the front and in the back. And that can go a far way for bronchitis, asthma, and chest congestion, and COVID-19, and any bug that's causing you inflammation and congestion there. All right. So we said, don't forget hydrotherapy inside, warm water right away. Then a contrast shower, which everybody can do, hot alternated with cold. And then we talk about the chest fermentation, applying a very hot towel or warm towel on top of the chest and the back with a barrier there so you don't get burnt. An easier
So,
way
Doc,
might be to
if
put
I
a
may,
towel. Oh, yes, Pastor.
if I may ask you a question. Now, some people do a lot of teas, right? My wife is really into teas. Does that do the same thing as drinking the warm water, or no? It has a
Yes,
different
yes, yes,
application.
yes, definitely. No, no, and that's powerful. I would highly recommend that. And I think it's a good idea for us all to get into drinking tea, especially teas that are healing. I used to only drink one tea my whole life, mint tea. And mint tea is good. Mint, believe it or not, mint and all the mint family stimulates a lot of good anti-inflammatory agents in your body. I didn't even know that, but it is anti-inflammatory. But now I've learned about other teas. I'm now drinking echinacea tea and turmeric tea and ginger tea, and I try to mix them up. And yes, drink that warm. That works great. If you do not add a sweetener, it is just as good as the hot water. But if you add a sweetener, like if you add sugar, you got to be careful, because that may take away a little bit of the fighting power of your medicine. If you're gonna sweeten it, add a liquid sweetener like honey or agave, something that's less processed. All right, so yes, teas are great. We need to drink
So,
them
would
every day.
would you put soup in that same category or no?
Yes, 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 Pastor. I know you love your soup. Yes. Soup would be in that category too. Nice, warm soup. It really warms you up on the inside. And that's how this whole thing of chicken noodle soup, took off, where it's good for colds. Nothing is in the chicken that's making you better. Trust me. It is the warm soup that you're taking that's helping you to produce an internal hydrotherapy. You're increasing your core body temperature, and you're mimicking a fever, and you're getting your white cells to take off and start working. So that's how the chicken noodle soup thing is so popular. But just some warm, warm stuff. That's what you want when you have a virus. Warm
I'm kind of getting the
inside.
impression that my mother must have had some medical training of some sort. Because our parents seem to
Yep, yep,
know
yep,
how
yep.
to give us these, soups and, teas and whatever when we were ill.
Yes, yes, yes. And sometimes we forget about it, we forget about it when we're sick. But when we're sick, we gotta keep in mind those things. WFRB, water, food, rest, boost. Water, warm water works. Warm tea, warm soup. Those are all excellent to use when you're having flus, bugs, viruses. All right, so we spoke about the contrast shower, the chest momentation, and then there's a hot foot bath. A hot foot bath is the easiest one, probably. You just get a tub or a basin, and you fill it up with hot water. You put your feet in there, Cover up your body with, a nice blanket so that you're warm. You don't want to be chilled when you're doing these therapies. You want to keep your body warm, and you leave your feet in that warm bucket or tub or basin, and let's let it sit there and be nice and hot and warm for a good 20 minutes. And then you dry your feet off, put on some socks, and just take a rest. All right. That works well too. What works really good too is a warm bath, or they call it a fever bath. You fill up your tub in your bathroom with hot water. And then you get in there. Make sure it's as hot as you can bear. You don't want to burn or scald yourself. So touch it, with your elbow or your hand. And once it's tolerably hot, you go in there. Make sure the water covers your whole body up to your neck. You just lay in that tub for like 20 minutes, and you are inducing a fever in your body. Your whole body's hot now. And trust me, your immune system is primed. And when you come out of that tub after 20 minutes, you can turn on a cold shower, or just have somebody throw some hot water or cold water over you to just close your skin pores there, so you don't lose too much heat from your skin. Then you dry off, and you go and you lay down for 30 minutes. Rest is an important part of hydrotherapy. We don't want to forget that. So these are simple, right? I think you can do it. You can do it. Anybody can do it. If you don't have towels to put in hot water, you can use a plug-in, one of those plug-in things, plug-in, that heat up. You can put on your back or your chest. Warm, ones that are moist are better than dry. Moist heat conducts better than dry heat. So if you have a electric heater, plug-in one that you can have put water in there, some of them come like that, so you can get moist heat. Then you can put that on your chest or your back, and that would work great for fighting the bugs. All right, so I think I covered the easy ones you can do at home, and trust me, there are more, but I just wanted to give you a few easy ones that you can do, right? And if you've never done them before, try it. Start trying them, so that when you're actually sick, you know what to do. You know how to do it. And these therapies help to decrease the duration of your infection, and they help to decrease the intensity of your infection, and you'll be back to yourself before you know it. You can use these on your children when your kids are sick and you're trying to figure out what to do. Do home hydrotherapy. I do it all the time. At first, it felt weird. I was like, what am I doing here? But after a while, you get much more ease and comfort with doing hydrotherapy on your children at home. Now, keep in mind, like anything, there are potential side effects, and you need to be aware of how to alter things so that they are appropriate for age and disease. So let's say when you're doing hydrotherapy, be mindful of folks who are very young and very old and very thin and very frail. They may not be able to tolerate as high a temperature as you might be able to, or as lower temperature. So it may not, maybe you can't do it so cold or so hot for your little kids. They can't tolerate that. So just kind of be more mindful of that. And also, if you have diabetes and you have damage to your fingers or your toes, you have neuropathy, you won't be able to feel that the water is too hot. And so you'll go in very hot water and get damage to your skin. You'll get burnt. So if you have neuropathy, damage to your nerves, you can't feel well, you don't want to be very hot water. You may want to have somebody else feel it for you, or use a part of your body where you have better sensation and not make it so hot. And if you have a heart condition, arrhythmias, your heart doesn't beat normally, it beats too fast or it beats irregular, you have to be careful with the switch in hot and cold, because trust me, it gives a jolt of blood surge throughout your body, and your heart may not be so happy with that if you have an arrhythmia. So keep those things in mind when you're doing hydrotherapy. But apart from those, anybody and everybody can do it, and it works great. It worked for pandemics in the past. It's worked in this pandemic, and it will continue to work, but we have to know how to use them. All right. So We spoke about water inside, water outside. Okay, and then I
So,
was mentioning before water, food. What kind of food do you, do you eat when you have a bug, a flu, or COVID-19?
so
I
I
want to
had one
tell
more
you,
question,
stop.
if I may.
Yes.
Because I know
Mhm.
one of the things I see my wife does is put a towel over her head with water, hot water in the sink. She puts some orange peeling in it. I don't know what's the benefit of that. And then she breathes that in. So I'm not sure. Is that some kind of hydrotherapy also? And is that beneficial? And what are the benefits of something such as that?
Mhm. Mhm. Very awesome. Your wife is on point. She needs to be a guest on or a show sometime because she knows a lot of ways to keep the body healthy. That's called steam inhalation. And I didn't talk about that one, but that one is also a very good one to do right away, quickly, because it really helps with fighting bugs as they're entering from the nasal and oral passage. So, steam inhalation is where you get really hot boiling water. And you can boil the water on the stove and then pour it in a container, like a big wide basin. Or if you want to pour it in the sink, but the sink has to, the stopper has to be on so you don't lose the water. And then you can add anything you want to it that will help to open up your airways. For example, eucalyptus oil is great for opening up the airways, upper and lower airways. Also, peppermint oil, orange peel is good for that. Lime peel. When you peel your orange and lime, you don't throw it away. You can dry them and then put them in your hot water at the right time. And that will help you as you're beginning to inhale the steam. So you have the hot water in a basin or in your sink. Then you put a towel over your head so that you can kind of like trap the steam to come up to your face, and you take deep breaths through your mouth, through your nose, in and out. And that really helps to one, start to kill the bugs that are trying to reproduce and populate in your nose and in your throat. And it helps to open up your air passages. It helps to thin out your mucus and helps the stuff to run out of your nose so your sinuses aren't so full. It's great for sinusitis. It opens up your sinus passages. And so you start to drain out the mucus and the gunk from that area. And it opens up your lungs so you can breathe better, and it decreases coughing. So that's a nice one. We do that one also at home. And it's something everybody and anybody can do. It definitely works. I like that one. Thanks for reminding me of that one, Pastor. All right. So I'm going to just talk about the foods you should eat when you're having COVID-19, and we're talking early here, early, early, early. You start these things early, the first day. First day. You don't want to eat food, no heavy food. Stop, just don't even bother with your regular diet, your breads and your egg and your chicken and your rice and peas and your oxtail. No, stop eating food. Go to fruits and vegetables. Your body is not trying to think about digestion at this point. It doesn't want to deal with that. All it wants to do is fight the bug. So if you can turn down your GI tract, more energy will go to your immune system to fight and repair. So, yes, you need to get some nourishment, but you don't need to eat heavy food. All you need is fruits and vegetables. The best is juices, teas, soups, thin soups, not your thin vegetable soup. You know what you add? You add your turmeric, you add your ginger, you add your garlic, a lot of 19 or influenza or any other really annoying bug. Get a nice big pot, put, fill it up halfway with water. You add of onions, cut them up, put onions in there, add whole bulbs of garlic, chop them up, not just one clove, a lot of garlic, put it in there. If you have time in the house, I have a nice plan of tiki time. if that's the name of it, but it's a thyme plant. I chop that up. I put the thyme in there, and you put your so you have your onions, your garlic, your thyme, your turmeric, and then you put your greens, carrots, and you make that soup, and you have that soup throughout your sickness. Carrot juice, beet juice. These are things that you want to have when you are sick with a bug and the flu. You don't want to be having heavy courses of food. All right, so keep that in mind. No crackers, no candy, none of that. The food that heals and light, keep it light. That will help you get better faster. All right, so we spoke about water inside and out. The best foods to have: soups, teas. The different teas that work well would be teas like echinacea tea, that you can give that to children. That's fine. Adults can take that. You can make teas with just turmeric and ginger. That works great. And take that regularly. And of course, one of my favorites is the flu bomb, which I have the recipe for the one I like on my blog. You can get that one easily. It's called Corona Recipes, and you can use those. But I'll let you chew on that for the week. Try those things out at home, and then next week when we get together, we're gonna talk about the rest, how to get rest, and why is rest important when you have an infection, and boost. What vitamins should you take and should you have in your house when you have a bug that's dragging you down? We talk about the dosages that I recommend and that I take when I have a bug, and other ideas to really fight and help others in your home and in your community fight the virus so they can just stay alive and get back to life and doing God's will.
Awesome, awesome. What an awesome presentation. We were having a lot of problems with the internet. I noticed you were stopping sometimes, and online I had to start a new stream. But we appreciate it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to edit this one and put it back up. I'll post it on your channel as well, because this was a very good presentation. I can see we just had a lot of things going on trying to prevent the folks from getting the benefit of these simple remedies. But I think it was potent because this was stuff we could do at home, to really fight the challenges we're having. So thank you. And so folks, you've been watching
they're proven remedies, Pastor. They've been used for centuries.
Praise God. Yes, because I noticed I recognize many of them from my boyhood days. Like I said, my mama must have had some medical training. All right. So we're going to say a word of prayer, and then we're going to let you go. So, Father, thank you so much for Dr. Kathy. Thank you for the wisdom she shared. Lord, thank you for our viewers who stayed by despite the challenges. I pray now, Lord, that you will teach us how to use these various practices to live better, healthier, stronger lives so we can be better witnesses for you. Go with us now as we go. Keep us faithful. And when you come, save us, we ask, in the precious name of Jesus. Amen. Folks, remember tonight, 7 o'clock, prayer meeting. Come join us. You'll receive a blessing. And Dr. Kathy, thank you so much for spending your morning with us.